Yo guys, what's good? It's your girl Nikki here, coming from her bedroom in Long Island, New York. What's up? Okay, so today I want to talk about toxic relationships, but before I do that, let's talk about what's happening right now with the election. I mean, wow, this is some crazy ass stuff, right, guys? I don't know. I thought that how it was projected that Biden was going to win by a landslide, but it looks like that they're teetering almost the same. But yeah, wow. It's kind of nerve-wracking, like oof, it's going to happen, right? But anyway, that's just a little thing. So if you guys want to talk about that, we could talk about that next week after we get the results of the election, which I probably will do. But today on Nikki Talk is toxic relationships. So, now everyone's idea, well, just in life, everyone has different ideas of what right and wrong is, um, what's bad, what's good. So, maybe someone's opinion of a toxic relationship is not the same as mine. But what I think is very telling in a toxic relationship is if someone controls your life, if someone victimizes themselves, and trust. Okay? Those are the three components that, make someone very toxic for you. So, the first one that I said was controlling. Basically, what I mean by this is someone that won't let you do anything without them, or you can't have fun and do your own thing because they'll get upset. Like, for example, with my first really serious relationship, I always was going out with my friends. And why not? I was in New York City. I was going to school. I was with all my friends, and everything. And it was fun. But he would always get upset that I wasn't going out with him. And I said, well, you easily can come out, but he didn't have a fake ID at the time. So he made me feel very, like a bad person for not wanting to just stay and spend time with him. And I'm like, well, you can go out with your guy friends. Go out with them, have a blast, you know? He would try to control what I was wearing, which was a big no-no for me. Like, I did not let that happen. And he tried to control who I was hanging out with. And I said, look, this is my life. I'm going to do my own thing. But whenever I said that, we would always get into really, really bad fights. Like, he'd be throwing shit, he'd be banging the walls. Honestly, we shared a dorm room together. Well, we weren't really supposed to, but he had his own private room, and, I just always used to stay there. But regardless of that, he used to always start throwing things and hitting things and slamming walls. And our neighbors were like, what the hell's wrong with these people? And he would drain the life out of me. The light that I was shining was fading away because of him. And sometimes I would just give in because I didn't want to get into another argument. And there was many times where I wanted to leave, and my friend said, hey, you should leave. But I didn't because I loved him. I knew that it was wrong, but I just couldn't give up, not yet. But then finally, it got a little too much, and I broke up with him, and then he promised he was going to change and manipulated me into thinking that he would, and then he didn't. But, it was just the whole cycle over and over again, the same thing. We would get into a fight because I didn't listen to what he wanted. And then I'd be crying, he'd be yelling. And then, we'd make up. And then we were fine for maybe 2 days or something. And then the next day it would happen again. And then the next day and the next day. And then he broke up with me because I wasn't giving in to him. And it hurt me because, the fact that he broke up with me, meanwhile, I should have broke up with him. But also the fact that I just loved him. Yeah. But it was bad. So what I'm trying to get at with this point of controlling is that if someone's controlling you, it's not okay. And it can be for any relationship, not just a, you know, significant other relationship. I'm talking about also friendships. If someone is controlling every aspect of your life, who you can and cannot hang out with, what you can and cannot do, and what you can and cannot wear, that is not okay, okay? So just get rid of that. No. And also, controlling comes in other forms as well. Like, now, mind you, I've had a really, really crazy toxic relationship life for about 2 years in a row. I had one guy for 6 months, and then the next guy was kind of like for a year. And it was just 3 months after my first toxic relationship was over. But the second one, he was the same exact way as the first one. And I'm like, damn, it's gotta be me. But then I realized it's not me. It was just my fault that I was letting them drain the power out of me. And it was my fault for not looking at the signs and being like, okay, you know what, I'm done. Thinking that I could change them, you know. You can't change somebody, okay? They gotta change themselves. And at the end of the day, you really shouldn't change anybody, because who they are is who they are. Who you are is who you are. You either connect or you don't. But yeah, the same thing was happening. Arguing. He was the second toxic relationship. I'm going to use 2 different names. So the first one's going to be Bob, and then the second one's going to be Frank. Just because Bob, Frank. Okay, so Bob, but it's not their real names. I'm just using names because I don't want to say anyone's real names. Anyway, you got Bob, very controlling, argued all the time, terrible, victimized himself, which is the third factor, but we'll get back onto that. And he didn't trust me either. But regardless, right now we're talking about controlling. Then with Frank, the same exact thing with controlling. Because I want to hang out with my friends, because I didn't want to spend every single waking moment with him. It was a bad thing. And this guy was like 28, and I'm like, I'm only 21, bro. Like, it's time for me to get out and do my thing, you know? And yeah, then Frank threatened to kill himself. Now that's control. That is the ultimate manipulation and control of somebody, is to say, if you don't do this, I'm going to kill myself. Or it's your fault that I'm gonna kill myself. No, you run. You say, F you, and you get the hell out of there, okay? Because that is controlling and manipulation at its finest. Do not feel bad, because they're not gonna go kill themselves. Someone that's gonna kill themselves is gonna do it, okay? They don't have to tell you, they'll just do it. Someone that's telling you that they're gonna do that, it's just because they want to control you and make you feel bad for them, which gets into victimization. They want to play the victim. They want everything to be your fault. It's your fault that this is happening. It's your fault that I'm upset. It's your fault that I'm not doing anything with my life. No, it's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault with anything. Is it your fault if you cheat? Okay, sure. But other than that, I mean, it's not your fault if they are unhappy with their lives, or it's not your fault if you're living your life and they're upset that you're doing that. It's just not. Okay? So then that's where the 3 come in. Controlling, then you got victimization, and then you got trust. If you have no trust, you have no relationship, okay? There's no relationship if there's no trust. My 2 toxic ex relationships, they didn't trust me at all. They thought that I was getting with other guys, doing this, doing that. I wasn't. I was very faithful. Always. But if you can't trust somebody, then there's no relationship there. So you gotta, not be in one unless you know how to trust somebody. And guess what? Even if you trust somebody, they still have the opportunity and the chance to break you, to break your heart. I'm not saying trust easily and give trust to anyone. All I'm saying is that if you don't give someone a chance, you're never gonna know. And you can't be in a relationship. And that was another thing too. They just didn't trust me either. Because so many people have F them over, which goes back to victimization. Everyone is against them. Everyone F them over. All their girlfriends cheated on them. So, like, feel bad for me that that happened. No, don't feel bad. I've been cheated on multiple times. I'm not asking you to feel bad for me. Don't feel bad for me. It's my life. It's my fault for being with that person. It's my fault for accepting that person back. Okay? At the end of the day, though I was heartbroken by especially the first one, Bob, I had no one to blame but myself because I allowed him to do that to me. You know, first time, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. 3 times, that's really on me. But then it was also on me for getting into a relationship that was probably way worse with Frank and not leaving. But yet, all these 3 things of not having trust with somebody, controlling someone, and victimizing yourself all falls into manipulation, okay? Which is the big component of everything. And that's manipulation is just the biggest thing in a toxic relationship. Doing things to think that the person that you love is actually doing it because they love you and care about you, when actually it's a hidden vendetta and they're just doing it for themselves. That's probably the worst thing. So yeah, I said there's 3 things, but 4th, I'm going to say, because manipulation is very, very important. If your ex says that he can do something for you, make sure he's not wanting to just get into your pants again or try to make you think that he is this amazing person, because he's not. He just wants to control you. He wants you to feel like you have nothing, no one, that you can't make it without him, okay? I mean, maybe some exes are okay. Maybe they really do mean what they say. But for me, my ex at the time said that he would help me out with acting. And then it ended up that he just wanted to get back with me and use that against me. Now reckon I did do everything that he said he was going to do for me. But if I didn't listen to him, if I didn't follow what he said, then he would destroy everything that I worked hard for. Isn't that messed up? We broke up because I wasn't happy and you threatened to kill yourself. And now you're saying that you believe in me, you're sorry, and you just want what's best for me. But now you're going to just use that to control me? Yeah, pretty messed up, right? Any normal person that actually cared about you and loved you, you would have been fine. You would have done things and been okay with. But if it's a really bad relationship, if it's a really toxic relationship, don't trust them. Don't trust that person, because honestly, it's just going to be your downfall again. And I'm telling you from experience. I trusted my ex because I still did love him, and I thought that he just wanted to do it because he cared about me. He just cared about himself. And that's what most people do, because they're just about themselves. But yeah, so that's my thing on toxic relationships. Now, if you guys have any more questions about toxic relationships or want to go more in depth with something, please let me know. But I'm just saying, gotta put it out there. Make sure you just know the red flags, okay? And don't be with someone who has a tendency to control things that you're doing. Doesn't trust you. Plays the victim. Says everything that is happening is your fault, not theirs. Don't do that. And if those people come back in your life and they say they can do something for you, they're manipulating you. it's very hard to find, and manipulators are very good at it, at pretending, because that's how they manipulate. But, you know, don't fall for it. Know your worth, know your strength, love yourself, and know that you're gonna find someone one day who loves you. And then if you don't even want to find anyone, then you don't. I mean, honestly, I found an amazing guy. I love him dearly. We've been together for a year now. He's great. He's awesome. But don't be you. Do you. Don't be in a relationship. Have fun. Do your own stuff. And when you least expect it, you're going to find someone. But just know those 3 signs and just ask, question, because sometimes it may be too good to be true. Yep. And love yourself. Can't stress it enough. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Know your worth. And don't settle for anything less than that, because I did, and that was 2 years of my life that just like went down the drain. And that was when I was 19 and 20. And now I'm 22. So it's like, I mean, I'm happy I learned young, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, because even though it hurt me, it made me grow, because now I don't deal with any bullshit anymore. Like, I could smell bullshit from a mile away. But still, it sucks, it hurts, and just know that it's not your fault, and that you can get out, and that you're gonna be okay without them. Okay guys, well that's it. Anyway, thanks for joining. If you have any questions or anything, or you want to talk about something else, let me know. Just put it in the comment section below. Please subscribe if you like. Right now I got 6 I was trying to talk a little too fast, but right now I got 6 subscribers, so I'm hoping to get more. Wow, I really couldn't talk just then. Okay, please don't mind that. I'm gonna keep it in the video. But anyway, yeah. So if you want to talk about something next week, let me know and we'll talk about it. All right, thanks guys. Bye.